Good afternoon. Welcome to the Changing Faces of Education, Teaching Online. This chapter is based on introducing you to the world of online learning and provide you with the strategies to begin your own online teaching content and activities. Online education has become more of an important long-term strategy for many schools from kindergarten through college. And this chapter also will provide you with the basic terminology, understanding, and skills to help assist you in establishing these strategies. Tipping point, a moment of history. Face-to-face education is when teachers and students are grouped by grade levels or by content areas to teach them in a group or classroom setting. Tipping points, which is defined by Malcolm Gladwin as the level at which the momentum for changing becomes unstoppable. These new educational technologies are spreading rapidly as teachers become more comfortable and able to use different tools to embrace their students in their classroom. They're using more of your Google Chromebooks, your laptops, your DVD players, GPSs, smartphones. These are all different devices that has come into play over time. There's different apps for kids to learn on as well to help them with math, reading, writing, social networks as well. There's games that are learning. So we're evolving more and more, and face-to-face teaching models is being transformed as educators also become more developed with new strategies to create a more innovative opportunity to educate students along a pathway where they can do their work anytime, any place, at any pace that suits them. Now let's talk about distant education. Distance education is also called distance learning or distributive learning. It's defined as the delivery of instructions from one location to another. This basically means that teaching takes place in one location and the learning takes place at another location. For example, we could be at home and learning on our computers while the teachers at the school or at their home teaching us. Students could learn through alternative methods as well. From different locations. Distant education has transformed and moved to different delivery methods. Back in the 1700s, it was conducted basically by mail. They would correspond information and work through the mail back and forth from student to teacher. This would also be called like a corresponding class. Today, you find more businesses, colleges, universities, elementary schools, high schools, and some organizations that are actually utilizing online environments for classes and courses and trainings of all types of professional development. It helps deliver everything through the most institutions are usually in the form of web-based or web-enhanced. Web-based is often called an online course or e-learning course, which is a course delivered by the web. Basically, when you sign up for college or colleges, even in high school nowadays, All those are on the web, and you may meet with your professor once a semester, twice, so they can look at, okay, do you need help with anything? Have you overcome anything? Is there any obstacles that you need help with? Most professor web-based their classes, which allows students to have online access to supplement course information. So, for example, at high school, students have the Chromebooks, which teachers are allowed to put in what they need help with, or if they have an assignment, for example, for Google Classroom, like now, they can go in and attach different files, and then the students would be able to look over them. Delivery of distance education. Online education can be synchronous, asynchronous, instructor-led, or self-paced. Synchronous is a direct form of communication in which communication happens in real time, where parties involved are present at the same time, such as a phone call or face-to-face conversation. Asynchronous is when communication occurs at different times and it is not require the parties to be present at the same time. For example, you have active email discussions, post, or text messages. Instructor-led, it refers to courses in which the instruction is directed by an instructor teaching the class online. And self-paced refers to courses in which the learner goes through the content at his or her own pace. It can also be a combination of one or more of those. Delivery of distance learning courses can take a different form. It can be web-based training, which is also called webinars. It can be impact on government, businesses, and organizations. Over the past few years, the number of government agencies, businesses, and organizations use distant education has exploded. Most all organizations use a web-based training. As well as many businesses and organizations in the United States, provides employees with some type of web-based training in order to teach new skills or upgrade current skills. They use most of this to help keep their employees trained and up to date on information. And they make training take place online, which helps employees with on-demand and anytime remote learning opportunities. Distant education, especially web-based training, is very cost efficient and an effective way to keep all employees up to date on new techniques or new ways to run a business to help them better the business as they go along. Impact on colleges and universities. Most colleges and universities offer many advantages for students that deal with web-based classes. They can attend school while at home, or why if they have any disabilities or are unable to get to the colleges, if they work full-time jobs, have children, even transportation issues. There's a lot of people that just don't have the means of getting back and forth to school. Most universities and colleges offer online courses for students to complete their doctorate degrees. And now most universities don't provide so many traditional courses and degrees on campus, but just online. Impact on K through 12 schools, fully web-based. The majority of web-based courses are offered to help provide an alternative learning solution and instructions from homebound students. This allows teachers to teach students that may come from a less populated school district. Students could learn multiple languages with web-based courses. For example, some of these specialized classes would be in French, Latin, calculus, and there's many other cores and advanced subjects. Teachers are web enhancing their classrooms or creating tools such as websites and curriculum resource pages that are attached to the assignments. This enriches students' learnings. They also provide parents with access to tools to help teach their children if they're having a hard time, or even may teach parents. Um, Teachers create websites that might provide links so parents can check on homework that their students have. Online teaching has been found to improve teaching practices, both visual and face to face. Student teacher relationships are getting better because students are able to send links to the teacher or ask teachers at any point in time if they need help, and teachers can explain it just for that student or walk that student through there. There's been so many more positive impacts when it's come to online teaching, and increased interaction is just exploding everywhere. Some of the benefits would be student interactions with, for example, um, Smithsonian Institution. Scientists want to increase educational science opportunities for many students in hopes that these experiences will inspire more students to become scientists. This also provides experiences from the Smithsonian Institution, and it helps teachers and students to interact through the web with scientists who are actually working for Smithsonian. And they inspire students to pursue a career in that area. Or impact on professional development, training. It helps teachers stay up to date on new trainings. Instead of teachers having to take personal days or in-service days, they're able to do this online in their own time, from taking away from teaching their children, students, being away from their families. Goals of teacher professional development is to improve students' outcomes. It's to help teach students different ways of interacting online to help them overcome some difficulties they may have. There are many programs being redefined to help teachers as well as other businesses and colleges. Teachers are being trained through web-based training, and many of the programs are being redefined in many school districts as state programs as well. School districts are adapting to more online trainings as a way to train their teachers in many areas, from technology to English as a secondary language to meeting different requirements to a series of online courses leading to alternative certifications for teachers. The K through 12 learning environment. It's very fast growing and expanding all over kindergarten through 12th education. There's a lot of virtual teaching and learning, and it has made its way not only into elementaries and high schools, but now in every aspect of our lives. E-learning is also referred to as electronic learning, online learning, distributive learning, virtual learning, distance learning. And they're utilizing a local network such as school networks or internets for delivering the contents and interactions between students and teachers. This is more convenient and flexible and accessible from any computer with internet access. So students anywhere with internet access are able to do online e-learning. Virtual classroom environments or even virtual learning environments is using a network such as the internet or school network to get assignments, discussion topics, work on team projects, and even check their. What makes e-learning classes unique? They're convenient, very flexible, and accessible. Virtual classroom environments and virtual learning environments are expanding over every school. You can do anything through e-learning, as I stated before, instead of being behind a desk. Growth of online schools and programs. Many schools and universities are using terms as e-learning, online, and virtual to define that classes that are delivered completely online, or terms like blended, hybrid, or mixed mode, which these define classes that are combined with both face-to-face interaction and online action. There's over 100% online courses that are also called web-based courses or virtual courses, which is a course or class taught completely online rather in a classroom. They have stated that in about 5 years, kindergarten through 12th will take more courses in brick and mortar schools than it has in the last 100 years. Online schooling was originally created to help homebound children, homeschooled children, and disabled children that couldn't get out and just come to regular school. It It helps students anytime, anywhere. They're able to do it at any place and any pace. It helps improve the quality of instruction and instructions that teachers give that some students may not get in a face-to-face interaction, but they may get it more on an online interaction. It has increased productivity and lowered cost. There are part-time online schoolings and full-times, as well as students like more flexible learning environments where they don't feel rushed to get everything done, or they may not feel like they learn too much because it's so fast-paced. There are a few questions you may run into. What is a virtual school? A virtual school is also called virtual charter schools, cyber schools, or cyber charter schools, which refers to an institution not bound by bricks and mortar buildings. It offers student services, instructions, activities, communications, and courses online using internet technology. Brick and mortar schools, virtual schools have a system in place to support teachers and students. It includes principals, guidance counselors, attendants, and assessment tools and programs that track students' progress, integrating various technology devices, interactive software solutions, and the internet into the learning process. Teachers can address the needs of a wide range of students and places they may need help in. Another question is, how does a virtual school work? Most virtual schools are very flexible in how they address students' learning needs and schedules, but their content is still standard-based and performance-driven. It is similar to brick and mortar schools with set